I've said to many of you in private meetings, when President Trump chose me for this position, the primary charge he gave me was to bring the warrior culture back to the Department of Defense. He, like me, wants a Pentagon laser-focused on lethality, meritocracy, warfighting, accountability, and readiness.
That was Secretary of Defense nominee Pete Hegseth in his opening remarks today before being questioned by the Senate Armed Services Committee. The Minnesota native has been under scrutiny since he was first nominated by President-elect Trump in mid-November. Hegseth, as you heard at the end of that soundbite, was interrupted by protesters 3 times in the first few minutes of the hearing, and it only got more raucous from there. Jessica Hart joins us in studio with some of the highlights from today. A lot of them, Jessica.
Yeah, Chris, there was a lot discussed at the hearing today. It lasted for more than 4 hours. The party lines were evident, Republicans supporting his nomination, Democrats condemning his nomination. His nomination has created a lot of noise
In our ranks.
A Senate confirmation hearing interrupted by protesters.
Members of the security force will remove members.
But the hearing continued.
That it's time to give someone with dust on his boots the helm. A change agent, someone with no vested interest in certain companies or specific programs or approved narratives. My only special interest is the warfighter.
Forest Lake native Pete Hegseth sat in front of the Armed Services Committee, answering and dodging questions.
Would you carry out an order from President Trump to seize Greenland, a territory of our NATO ally Denmark, by force? Or would you comply with an order to take over the Panama Canal?
Senator, I will emphasize that President Trump received 77 million votes to be the lawful commander-in-chief of this country.
We're not talking about the election.
Democrats questioned his ability to lead millions of employees and manage a billion-dollar department, while Republicans praised his approach.
Do you believe you're capable of surrounding yourself with capable individuals?
Senator, the only reason I've had success in life, to include my wonderful wife, is because of people more capable around me and having the self-confidence to empower them.
Because you say you're going to hire smarter people than you to run this audit. I'm not asking you to be an accountant. I don't want a long answer, yes or no. Have you led an audit of any organization of which you were in charge?
Senator, in both of the organizations I ran, we were always completely fiscally responsible.
Yes or no, did you lead an audit?
And the way my leadership has been stated,
did you lead an audit? Yes or no?
Completely
what are you afraid of? You
mischaracterized.
can't answer this question.
He was also asked several times about past comments on women in combat roles.
As Secretary of Defense, will you support women continuing to have the opportunity to serve in combat roles?
Senator, first of all, thank you for your service, as we discussed extensively as well.
It's my privilege.
And my answer is yes, exactly the way that you caveated it. Yes, women will have access to ground combat roles, given the standards remain high, and we'll have a review to ensure the standards have not been eroded.
In answer, Senator Elizabeth Warren didn't believe. She says Hegseth said the opposite 10 weeks ago.
So help me understand, Mr. Hegseth, what extraordinary event happened in that 32-day period that made you change the core values you had expressed for the preceding 12 years?
Senator, the concerns I have and the concerns that many have had, especially in ground combat units, is that in pursuit of certain percentages or quotas, standards have been changed. And that makes the combat more difficult
let me make a
for everybody
suggestion
involved.
about what happened in that 32 days. You got a nomination from President Trump.
Allegations of Hegseth's excessive drinking were also brought up several times. Senator Mark Kelly asked him about a number of alleged incidents in which he replied anonymous smears. Senator Mark Wayne Mullen pointed out his colleagues across the aisle haven't asked for resignations of senators whom he claims have voted drunk.
Yeah, Jessica, a lot of this is political theater, grilling these nominees. What happens next? Does it go to a simple vote? What's on the calendar?
Well, Chris, there's not going to be another round of questioning. So up next for Hegseth is that vote. And he only needs a simple majority of 51 votes to get this job. And then later this week, several other Trump's nominees will face questioning from senators ahead of Inauguration Day.
And the Republicans have a 53 member advantage in the Senate, so they'll likely all pass, yeah? I mean,
It is likely, yes. He can't afford to lose any of those votes. A
Right.
couple of those senators are kind of on the brink here, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
All righty. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.